Hi, and welcome to Tony Time. Well, today's show, how can I explain it? The lady I have on here is the most creative, the sweetest entrepreneur I have met in years. She has created a business on Alfred Street that when I walked in there, her talents are all over. So I want to introduce to you Elizabeth Townsend.
Hi.
Elizabeth, welcome.
Thank you.
Elizabeth owns White Door Home Store right on Alfred Street. And I walked into your shop and I told you that. I don't get impressed. And I walked in and looked at what you created there. Is amazing.
Wow, thank you.
I mean, you'll see the photos on the show of what I'm talking about, but when I walked in, she has the very old suitcases, the vintage suitcases, painted in colors, and either cut in half
Yep.
and attached to the wall for shelves.
The shelves.
Wow.
Thank you.
Where?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where Pinterest has played a huge part. You know, it's inspiring. I follow a lot of these artists, so we kind of all bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just staring at a pile in my attic, or we have a little workshop and there's stuff sitting around. It's kind of like a puzzle. And the longer you do it, the more your mind tends to string them all together. And I'll say, you know what? What if we cut the legs off that dining table and attach it to that suitcase? We could make a cool nightstand for somebody that's different. I think that's the key, is trying to be different, you know, and think outside the box. People are sick of the same ordinary, run-of-the-mill stuff you can buy. Yeah.
They are. I mean, looking at what you have there, I mean, you have your soaps. And I'm walking in, and I see 3 white, beautiful sinks, old, beautiful sinks, laying on their side with soaps stacked up in there.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back a bit. How did you, when you were a child, were you artsy craftsy? Were you creative? Were you, did it run in your family?
Yeah.
How
did it happen? I was really creative. I always had a knack for trying to do things, but I never felt like I was an artist. I had friends who were real, genuine artists, I thought. That was my definition. Like, they could paint an oil painting or make something on a wheel with pottery. I did a lot of those types of classes. As a young kid, I went to the college art classes. My parents would pay for me to do stuff, but mine never looked like theirs. I didn't think it was good enough. But I just kind of kept trying. It was in me to do artistic things. My dad would say, let's paint this dresser together, or I'm going to teach you how to sand this down and stain it. And I started acquiring skills that were a little different than the typical artist. So that's why the furniture artistry became something that was more prevalent to me. I couldn't paint something on the front of a dresser, but I could put it together. I could finish it properly. I had the vision of what it could look like when other people were like, no, you can't paint those coral. And I said, yeah, they're small enough in scale. They'd look great with some gold accents. I could see it. And so I just kept working at it. And I wasn't a natural. I learned all these things. I've watched tons of videos, and I've met with lots of people that do furniture repair and building. And I collectively have just absorbed it. But I always loved it. And I think that's the key. You can pick up stuff and train yourself, but if you don't have that passion, and I really love it. I mean,
I can tell.
I sleep, eat, breathe it. I go home at night, and I've been working 12-hour days. I'm still looking online and for the right knob, or it's just something that's in me. So I guess I never thought of myself as an artist. When you say I came in, it was beautiful. It still takes me back, because it's what I love to do, but to hear somebody else thinks it's amazing, it's satisfying, like, wow, other people see what I feel. So
you are, from what you've just said, a visionary artist. You are a visionary.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, you are. Just listening to you say, okay, I have to find the right knob, because you see it in
I
your
see
mind.
it. Yep. And I know when it's not. Sometimes a piece that should be done in 3 days takes me 3 weeks, 3 months. It will sit there. So I'm like, something not right with it. I have to
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, it's got to be the right fit.
You're a visionary. Definitely.
Interesting.
I mean, because the pieces, let's talk about for a minute, when you sent me the photos, and you have a photo there of a white, like, dresser.
Oh, yeah, it's a small chest, like a Bombay chest. It's
Yes.
got the curvy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And she put a dial telephone on the front.
Yep. Yeah, because to me it looked so almost Alice in Wonderland. It had that great shape, and it was very dated. It was brown with red flowers on it when I got it. It was very primitive, which is a nice style for some people, but I saw something like cutting edge. Like, this is a small piece. It would look great in an entranceway with something that was like, hey, you're here. This is what I'm all about, you know? So I thought if somebody wanted to put this somewhere, great. It's a statement. And what could I do? I'm like, well, I'd like to stay with a neutral tone, something classic, so that's why I did the cream. I painted it 3 colors, red, black, and then the last was the off-white. And then I distressed, so some red and black came through. And everybody said, don't put that on the front. Don't. I had this huge piece of artwork of an old telephone rotary, and it had little red numbers in it in black. And I said, this is it. This is what I need to do. Tie in the red and black. And then I found old black metal iron
Those
poles.
handles
Yep.
are amazing.
So they tied in with that old telephone look, you know.
I did.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun piece.
I have never, ever seen a piece like that.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at it and I'm enlarging it on my computer, and I looked at the handles and I'm going, oh my God, every detail you did, you thought about.
I thought about it. Yeah, I really try to do things that are something that someone would be proud of, you know, like this is
Yes.
mine, and not just something that like, well, this fits the bill. And that was one of those pieces I posted on Facebook, and it sold within 24 hours.
Did it really?
Yep, it was a quick one to. So I'm always trying to stay on top of it, you know, and do the newest thing. But yeah, it's fun. I love doing it. That piece was fun to do.
That piece was amazing.
Thank you.
Now, another piece that I thought was very classic, you had 2 end tables in that fuchsia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, even in the photo, I could see the paint, the richness of the paint.
Yep, the paint is wonderful.
Now, talking about the paint, now those in particular, when you see them on the show here, the fuchsia and the richness of them and the classic look you did
Thank you.
was amazing.
Although I like to be different,
Yeah.
when I have a piece like that that's classic with nice shape, or the detail in it's Victorian, or depends on what the piece is lending itself to, I will go that route. Sometimes I'll fight my artistic urge and go a little more safe depending on the piece, because it won't look right if you take a piece that's gorgeous and you're like, I'm going to do this black and white check print on it. If it's Victorian, it needs to be, you can still do a fun color and play it safe in certain ways, but you need to tie them together or it just doesn't look right. You know, it's got to fit. So like those had very ornate feminine details.
It did.
And I thought that coral lended itself to the girly
yeah.
side of that. It was a vanity, and we cut it in half and made it into 2 nightstands.
Really?
Yes, it was a beautiful vanity, but it was all chipped. The veneer was coming away. The mirror was broken. I'm like, how much time is it going to take me to repair this? When people are searching for nightstands, let's rip them. So we cut them and did some wood filling. And then, yeah, and then after I painted them coral, they just looked very one-dimensional. So we hit the little accents with gold and pulled the drawers out, and we painted the sides of the drawers gold, so a little peekaboo when they open the drawer. We try to do these little surprises for people, so maybe everybody doesn't see it when they come into their home, but it's special to them because they know that was done for them. Yeah, those were a great piece for me. I think it was the first piece that really, it tied in people didn't think I was so strange or weird. Like, oh, she does something artsy and it's classic. I could put these next to my navy blue couch.
You have
So-
such a range. Elizabeth, your range is amazing. Because I was looking at them and I'm thinking, oh my God, these are gorgeous. And I was not thinking little kids' room, nothing like that.
Just loved the piece.
Just love the piece. I mean, to me, it could have gone anywhere. And I also flashed in my mind the 1940s.
Yes.
I was seeing the old movies
Yep.
in my head when I looked at those pieces.
And it had those round circles
Yes.
and yeah, it spoke to the 40s, I think.
It did.
Yep.
Because there were a lot of art pieces during the 30s and 40s that were amazing that you would see in movies. And they're gone. I mean, but I know not interior decorators, but people, because I was very involved in the New York world of people designing furniture. Carl Springer, who was a very big person who designed furniture with goat skin and ostrich and this and that, and the pieces were different and one of a kind. And seeing how the creativity went. But he was not like you, a visual person as much as just very basic.
Yep. But creating it. I think
creating
that's the key is I kind of have this palette handed to me already.
Yeah.
The main thing with me is my father makes furniture for my store too. Like he'll bring in some new pieces, but 98% of the stuff in there is vintage finds. There's so much stuff that we throw out nowadays.
Yeah.
And the older stuff was higher quality.
It was higher
So
quality.
people are throwing this stuff out or bringing it to places to donate, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, why? They have beautiful detail.
Yeah.
Why are we buying this straight line stuff when we can go get dovetail and paint it or make it look our own? So that's kind of how the whole thing started. Why not? It's less expensive.
Yeah.
We can make it more beautiful.
Yeah.
So I would take something in and I'd say, what am I dealing with? Oh, mid-century modern. Oh, Art Deco. Oh, and I'd take each one, like I said, handle it individually, what I thought fashion-wise
Yeah.
would look good or for the right customer. But we really try to stay away from the newer stuff. And
Well, it's cold to me.
yes, and it's
Some people love that streamlined,
Yep.
Scandinavian, IKEA look.
Yep. And it does look good in the right place.
Right place.
Yep. And that's why I have, I kind of am not dealing with from scratch like some of these designers. I have the blessing of all these different things presented to me. So if I get sick of French Provençal one week, I'm just moving on to the next Art Deco piece. Or, I kind of don't get burnt out, which is nice.
Yeah.
All these different styles of furniture, and we do a lot of custom work. So some women will come to me with these straighter pieces and they want me to transform it into something. You can always add stuff to them. There's moldings now you can buy at Home Depot that give it that
Oh, yeah.
Victorian look. So we do a lot of that too, to transform from one style to another.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. But the older stuff, the better it is.
The better it is. I mean, the wood quality, and it's getting a second life.
It is.
And you're giving it a second life. Now let's talk about you have paint here. No wax, chalk paint. And this is
The same,
Swamp Mud,
Yeah.
Uncle Jeff's Magical Texture.
yes.
These names.
Yes.
So tell me about the paints.
Okay, so I use Miss Lillian's. I've used her from before I even opened a store. I would buy her at a local retailer that she's got a couple people in New England that sell. I liked it because to me, economically, it was the best paint around. Has the best feeling when you're applying it and the best price. Waxing chalk paint is very labor intense. So as soon as I heard there was no top coating, it just intrigued me. As an artist, you kind of want to get to the fun part. You want to do
Yeah.
it. Then you're done and you don't want to be polying something or waxing. And people love wax on chalk because the combination feels really good. It's very smooth. But it's labor intense, it's arduous. So I was attracted to that. painted my first piece, I was like, oh my gosh, the feel, the sheen, it was like I had top coated it.
Wow.
So she builds it into her paint. It just cuts out a step. I always tell people I have a lot of local artisans that buy, because the DIYer comes in. I carry a full supply of it. They are doing a nightstand or a dresser in a kid's room, and I'll say, go ahead and paint the whole thing, but make sure you just at least do the top. Do the top of the surface with a clear coat, because I would want you to ensure the double protection. You're gonna be putting a water bottle on it or whatnot, but that was what roped me into her paint to begin with. The second thing was she has 158 colors right now.
Where is she out of?
She's out of, oh my gosh, I think it's Kentucky. She's down south.
Really? Okay.
I don't even know, to be honest with you, but I talk to her personally every single time I order paint. She has hundreds of distributors. She's a huge company, but you're still talking to her. I have a question, I message her. I have a customer who wants a gray, blue. She'll be like, oh, you want to do seaside blue? She messages me back within a minute.
You have to send her a copy of the show.
She said, if you're going on TV, send me a copy. I'd love to share it. She's like a sweet old lady. And
she'll love this.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the colors in the jar, it's so rich looking.
Yeah, very rich. And the coverage is unbelievable. So they still have the classics. They still have the navy, the off-white, the white. And then with 158 colors, you're getting all the newer ones too.
Right.
Like that coral that you thought was pretty.
Yes.
It's not your typical peachy or pinky.
It's not.
She really takes the time to find the color palette that could, be for more of the, like me, somebody who's going to flip furniture, or somebody who's trying to go for a pop of color in their palette. But the other thing that I love about her chalk paint is it's easy to distress. Most chalk paints are, but it holds up good. So like I've used other brands where I go to distress it and do some artwork on it after it starts breaking down, because chalk paint is more chalky feeling. Hers holds good. So yes, I can distress it, but I might have to work a little bit harder than someone else's chalk paint, but it holds.
It holds.
To the test of time. Yeah, you don't want to send a customer home with an end table, that's going to chip.
Right.
So, yeah, I love her paint. She carries a full line of basically everything a DIYer could want. Transfer creams, top coats, primers. The reason I brought in the swamp mud was because a lot of people will take something home like this and they want to paint it and they don't know what to do. And they're like, do I sand it? Well, if you put on the swamp mud first, it adheres to glass.
Really?
Metal. You can paint anything over it. So I'll use it on something like this and I don't sand it. And then you paint it and it looks like wood. You wouldn't even know if you did a mirror. You could paint over it and someone would say, that's a nice wood background. Oh no, that's not wood, that's glass. But we swamped it first. Sit there and scratch it and it doesn't come off. This is like, it's not a professional finisher's dream. It's more like a DIYer's dream. Somebody at home that just wants to paint a dresser blue.
Yeah.
You put this on first and then you put your paint on. So it makes it easy. And I've never seen anything like it. My husband's a painter. He's been painting for 35 years. I know all the tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Primer. Everybody primes everything for a first coat. This is what you want to do if you're painting furniture, because it cuts down on the sanding and all that hard work.
Wow.
So it's a secret tip that I don't like to tell everybody, but I'll let you know.
I'm sure our audience is like writing this down.
Yep.
So you do carry her paints.
We carry all this, yeah. Yep. And you can't get this anywhere else. Swamp mud. Okay. There's nobody that makes it. You can't go into Home Depot and say, do you have a textured base primer?
You're not going to get that.
They're going to say, we have bin. We have Zinsser bin. We have a shellac. But that is different. It feels like sand, almost like gritty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I live by it. I swamp everything.
She swamps everything.
I'm a swamper.
This is so good to know. And the audience, there's a lot of people out there now who are going to be starting their winter projects, or they have that table in the corner where they're going, Should I? Do I want to put the work in? Yeah.
What happens if I paint it and it peels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see Elizabeth.
Just come down, talk to us about it. We give free advice.
Yeah.
That's what we try to do, is encourage people to do it on their own. You know, it's really fun and artistic. And we do classes too that teaches chalk painting. I have one this Sunday coming up where people are bringing their own piece. It's called It's a One Night Stand. Is that funny?
I love that.
I know my mom's like, you better be careful with that one. I'm like, I think
okay.
they get it. But yeah, you bring your own piece and you get a jar paint this size, which would actually paint a dresser and 2 nightstands. It's a good size.
Really?
And they paint their nightstand. We do it beginning to end. So when they leave, they're like, oh, I can do this. And they go home, they can do the other one because they have the paint now and the knowledge. Of course, the lady next to you is always asking questions, so you're kind of picking up what everybody else is.
Yeah.
You learn a lot in those things. Yeah, they're fun.
Well, in one of the photos, which I thought was so cool, you have a regular ladder painted turquoise.
Oh, yeah.
And her shelving, this ladder, you don't even realize it when you first walk in. The color is gorgeous, but you have the paints on there.
Yeah.
So she has that display.
It kind of draws you in.
It draws
yeah.
you. It drew me into the photo. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, wow. So now, we've got the paints, we've got the furniture, and you'll see a lot of pieces that will be on the show that Steve will put on there. But she had this one, a chest of drawers, that remind me of a Joker. Remember the one with the triangles with the colors?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It reminds me of a court jester or a juggler.
Yep.
And it's
kind of Alice in Wonderland
yeah,
again.
Very
yeah.
whimsical. Yep. I'm looking at it going, my God.
Yeah. Sometimes you see it and you think, nope. And I have to ignore people because they're like, don't do it.
People are afraid.
People are afraid or they don't know what you're doing. So I always just say, they don't know. They don't know what I'm doing. Wait,
I learned a great, I don't know what you want to call it, but the author, Anita Shreve.
Oh, yes, I love her.
She was on the show a while ago, since she passed away. And wonderful author. And she always said, I never told people my ideas. Because it's like taking the fizz out of the bottle.
That's so true.
And that is true.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people, I like to do that. Because I'm always kind of testing. Yeah. What are they going to think? What are they going to say? But to no avail, it ends up not working in my favor.
Right.
So it is true. And I think that's something I'm learning as I get older too. Like it's a season that I'm kind of picking up that I have to kind of hold my cards a little closer,
Because that creativity you have, you're seeing it in your mind. You're visualizing it in your mind. Mm-hmm. And if you talk to someone who really doesn't have,
yeah,
it's going to either push you on more or it's going to say, well, maybe.
Yeah. Or like you said, take the fizz out of the pop.
Yeah.
They're going to see it someday and be like, oh, yeah.
Right. But it's like, I really don't. When I'm doing a creative idea, I don't talk to people about it. Because all of a sudden it's like, blah.
Mm-hmm. And I think not feeling like I'm a true artist sometimes.
Oh, God, you are.
That I was reading online probably 2 weeks ago. They said you're not an artist if you're not worrying sometimes about what's going to happen and how things go because you're sensitive, and you're always wanting to be better. Yeah. You're always wondering if it and that made me feel safer. Mm-hmm. As an artist, like, okay, I don't need to look for people's affirmation. No, I just need to do it and see what happens, So far, it's paid off. People are liking what I put out, and I just need to have that as my reassurance and keep my secrets to myself,
You're pushing the bar. Mm-hmm. And somebody needs to do it.
Thank you.
You can't be safe.
It's true.
And you're pushing the bar, visualizing it, and you're giving them more than what they expected.
It's crazy to think like that, but yes. I think of things from a businesswoman's perspective quite often. And I'm competing with, box stores up the street that sell furniture and home decor and towels and paint. You can buy paint anywhere. So
Can't buy that paint anywhere.
Can't buy that paint anywhere. You can't buy my style anywhere. So I'm really trying to push, like you said, the soaps and it's an experience when you come to the store.
Oh, it
And I'm
is.
always trying to think outside the box that way. So the woman that needs to go buy a gift is going to come to me first before she's going to go to the box store.
Yeah.
You know, and make it so everything's there. So they can get the card and the gift with the tissue paper. And because it's hard to compete nowadays with online. Everybody's shopping online, and
True.
everybody's going to Walmart to buy something, you know.
I know.
So I'm really trying to think outside the box.
But you have a niche market.
That's
you have
true.
a
It's
niche,
different.
You have a niche market, and I mean, I think if you're showing your pieces on Facebook or doing any of that, I would think people who are becoming familiar with you are going to either stop in or look on Facebook and go, wonder what she's up to now.
Right.
Or, you know, I have this piece here. Maybe I'm going to go talk to Elizabeth.
And they see the value.
They see the value in
value,
it because
yep.
it's a one-of-a-kind piece. Now, you have a lot of smalls in your shop.
Yes. And this is the season.
This is the season.
This is the season I stock up on. I focus on furniture all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm really trying to bring in the little odds and ends. People want to come in and check it out. Well, I'm going to buy a gift for my mom for Christmas here today. Or I think one of the most important things about my store isn't just what I do. It's that I support local artisans.
You do.
We have 17 local artisans on my side. I have two sides of the store. One side's the vintage market.
Yeah.
And they can go over there and find anything vintage. And there's local artisans there that flip and upcycle just like I do. They paint furniture. They're very creative, things that I couldn't even think of. And then on my side, because the store's separated into two basically stores.
Yeah.
But it's all open to one. But my side is my furniture, my smalls, but I also have local artisans there. Soaps.
Yeah.
I can't make the soap. No. There's a family up in Litchfield, Maine that makes my soap. It's all natural. I try to pull from local sources instead of wholesaling these big companies. Because there's people like me that are doing what I do. You know, I even have other furniture artisans in my store.
Yeah.
I really am trying to collectively keep it upscale, you know, keep it a home store. I don't want a little chop shop where there's a bunch of everything. So it's all home, but I really try to get my smalls local. So right now, for instance, we have a local sign maker. We have two jewelry makers. We have a woman that's making these mobiles. They're beautiful. I'm really trying to tie into that market because also people love it. People would rather support somebody up the street.
They'd much rather, even my friends who live in other states, when I send them a gift made in Maine, that means more to them when they see that little tag.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling to help somebody and then to give something that you know somebody's going to enjoy more.
Yeah.
I think it's more personal, to be honest with you. So we try to focus on that. I try to really preach to everybody that comes through, you've got to try this soap. This lady lives in Litchfield. It's unbelievable. But I make sure my stuff is good before. You know, like I went through different soap people. I've been through different jewelry people. I have the best of the best. So I know I can stand behind it, you know. But yeah, we do a lot of holiday stuff.
I mean, excuse me, I have to get up because I want to show. These towels are just, I mean, very Thanksgiving. Let Steve get that on the camera. These are so cute. There's 3 towels here.
Yep.
And they are just so, and they're heavy.
They're heavy. They're high quality.
They're very high quality.
Their stitching is immaculate.
Yeah.
They pick very fashionable but traditional patterns when they go with seasonal stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not putting out something that's tacky. I mean, it's beautiful stuff. I like how they give you the variation. You
I
can
do
layer
too.
them.
Yeah.
You know, over your stove, if you have the handle, you can put all 3 together or just 2.
I mean, these, and I mean, they just feel, I mean, it's not that microfiber that never dries anything.
Yeah, or doesn't pick up anything.
Or doesn't pick up anything.
Yep.
these are the real deal.
And I feel like you don't have to iron these when after you know how after you wash
Yeah.
and dry them they look awful. These come out because they're the top one's thinner. They
Yeah.
come out better. If you take them right out of the dryer, fold them, pull them, they look like you just ironed them.
That's great.
That's my favorite thing because I'm not really big on ironing.
I haven't ironed in 30 years.
Yeah, forget it.
And this one, the tea towel, very clever, very creative.
Yeah, so tea towels are this huge thing now. They've just
Are they really?
emerged in the last couple of years again. Like everybody wants a tea towel. And it's hard to get regular kitchen towels now.
Yeah, oh, it is. I know.
So we carry a full line of both. We have some that are jokey and funny, and I always try to pick ones that are funny but still appropriate because I don't like things that are, unclassy in the store. But we have a lot of different variations for, people. Some people just love words, love you to the moon and back.
Yeah.
We try to appeal to that. Some people don't. They want the old English spoons.
Yeah.
So we really carry a nice variety of, different things for different people.
I mean, they really, really do. Now, the holidays are coming. We have Santa here. So I take it you're going to have some holiday
Yes.
treasures.
Oh, yes. We actually don't focus very much on the harvest. We'll do very small.
Yeah.
It's a quick season, and we really focus on Christmas. Christmas is going to come out in the next couple weeks. I've been preparing for it for 4 months. We'll do a lot of holiday. We decorate the store. It's beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
When you come in, even if, there's not anything Christmas you're looking for particular and you're just shopping for gifts, we cater to both. So you can buy a Christmas wreath to put on your door, or you can buy tea towels for someone else. There's candles. We have soy candles. But we do have a lot more this year for Christmas to buy to decorate your own home.
He is so cute.
Isn't he cute?
He is so, so cute.
That's fun. I love buying the stuff too, yeah.
And he's sitting right in front of the Halloween, which
right.
means he's right behind you here.
Yeah, that's right.
So now you also have this homemade family, a collection of all the things we love.
Yes.
Now tell me about your artists who do these.
We have so many different types of signs in the store. Some of them we make right in-house. We do custom signage. Some of them we buy wholesale and we sell new signs. And then we have a couple local artisans that make them. We have one that she has a machine and she cuts the metal. And so you might just get a metal sign, or she might put it on an old barn board. And then we have an artist that is local. She's a pretty big deal. She does parties, and she makes a lot of signs for us that, have a Christian theme, or just a real nice saying, like, she had one a couple weeks ago. I couldn't remember any of it. It's something to do with find peace with yourself. More of the serene, that speak to the soul kind of.
Yeah.
She does a lot of the smalls. We call them leaners in our store. You can put them on a mantle. You can put them in a kitchen window. But we do custom. So if somebody wanted a sign like this, but to say their family name and coordinates and put it outside, or they wanted a 6-foot welcome sign to lean against their door, we can paint it with exterior paint and do. Right now we're doing those that say welcome on the front, and on the back say harvest or ho, ho, ho. So they get a double sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not just paying for one hit, one season.
Right, exactly.
But we really try to do a lot of custom in our store. That's an ever-changing market. Not everybody wants something that says this, or they want it, but they wanted blue to match their kitchen. So we'll say, great, we can do a blue for you.
Yeah, exactly.
We paint here. So that, I'd say, second to our furniture is our signage. We do a lot of custom signs. And of course, we do the town line signs. Those are huge right now. They're 3 feet long. They say town line, and then whatever town you may want, we put in there. And they look just like the one you'd see on the side of the road. Those are great gifts. Realtors are buying those because they give them as gifts, when they sell a house. Or somebody who doesn't live in Maine anymore, they'll buy a town line, Saco, Maine. They just moved to Michigan, It's just really cool gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's going through my mind right now? A friend of mine, we were just talking about the Seinfeld show. And she had this little clip of them going, Serenity now, Serenity now. I can just picture that on the sign.
Yes, exactly. And we do a lot of those too.
Do you really?
We do. We do a lot of funny signs.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like the coffee sign with a pulse, and it looks
Yeah.
like, like I can't live without my coffee. And we have some funny bathroom ones about dropping your clothes here. We try to do really, little comical gifty signs.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
My goodness, I mean, in this shop you have created. Now, how long have you been at this location?
I've only been in Biddeford since February, and we're doing really well here.
Good.
Really well. We would love more business, but Biddeford has really supported us. I mean, the mayor came in to see me, being here, doing this. I'm getting a lot of local support. We were in Saco before on Route 1. We did okay. We got a following,
Yeah.
I could focus on really pumping out the custom furniture and building up my Facebook and my social media, but the foot traffic was slow. In Biddeford, everybody sees my windows.
Absolutely. I mean, for a while, I saw the sign, white
You're
door
coming
home
down
store.
Alfred,
I'm
yep.
thinking, what is this?
Yep.
And then I saw your flag open, and I kept saying, I've got to go, I have to go, I have to go. Finally, I did stop in, and this is what happened. I was blown away. Elizabeth was in the other part of the store. She greeted me, and I'm the sort of person that, just let me look around.
Let me take it in.
Let me take it in. But she greeted me and said, if you need anything, let me know, I'm over here. That was perfect. So I could kind of get lost in your ideas, and it gave me a chance to look around at the way you did your shelving and you did your presentation. And
Thank you.
I'm jaded, but you know what? I'm her biggest fan now.
Thank you.
Really am.
Appreciate it.
And so is the mayor too, because you said, you should be,
Yeah.
you should do a show at Biddeford Access.
Yeah.
And then I walk in. Go
know.
figure. But all of this together and what you've created.
Yeah, it has just evolved, and it's because I didn't know this is what it would become. I really didn't. I just like to refinish furniture, and it's turned itself into this, and I love it. I would not have pictured it any other way.
You know what your secret is? I'm going to tell you what your secret is.
Okay, good, because I don't
Okay.
I don't inner reflect a lot, so hit me,
I'm gonna
Tony.
tell
Hit me, Tony.
Elizabeth what her secret is. You were not worried about what other people thought. There could be 3 stores exactly like yours, but you would win because of your personality, because of the heart that you put into your work. It shows when you walk in there.
Thank you.
You would be the success.
Thank you.
And people don't achieve when they keep worrying about what is everybody going to think. And they're trying to please everybody out there that they don't know.
Right.
And you're never going to please them anyway. But you're doing your passion. You're pleasing yourself.
Yep.
In change, you're making a success.
Yeah. In the end, that's all that matters, is that you just keep doing what you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. Because it is tough, business owner, it is tough every month. There are months where I'm like, I don't have 2 pennies to rub together, but I know I need to reinvest my last $100 in tea towels, or,
Yeah.
You're hoping. But then there's months where it's great. You can't fluctuate based on the dollars coming in. You have to have that inside drive to
inner
want to,
belief.
put your head down, work harder, do what you're supposed to do, just do what you're supposed to do, and hoping it pays off in the end, so I love doing it. So, and I love being a part of my community. I'm on the Heart of Biddeford, the downtown lighting committee. I'm always outside picking up trash, and I really try to talk to everybody when I see them on the streets and do things like this. I really love this community, and to be able to support local artisans. I just hope it all works out, because I feel like this is my calling. I know people say it's so cliche, but I love it. I really do.
And it shows.
Thank
in
you.
everything you do.
Thank you.
You're an amazing woman.
I
You
appreciate
really
that.
are. And we're running out of time.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that was a great coffee talk.
Wasn't it?
I know.
I just wish we would have had
I
coffee.
don't want it to end.
I don't either. But I want you to come back every couple months to show us
That'd be great.
anything new, and you know, I really want to encourage everybody. I mean, the holidays are coming, and even if the holidays weren't coming, and it's just an everyday thing, stop into the store.
Yes, thank you.
White Door Home Store on Alfred Street. And Elizabeth is in there, and you can watch her be creative with these pieces.
Yeah, we're doing it right in front of everyone.
Right in front. And you know, I mean, I really, really want everybody to know about you. I want everybody to stop in and see what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because you're marching to your own drummer. And I think it's amazing. So thank you for being on the
Thank you.
show.
I love hearing that.
It's so
It's
true.
gratifying.
It's so true. And we're going to have you come back again, and we'll have other things, and we'll give the audience an update on how things are going and what you're doing next.
Great.
But at the end of the show, we have your address there for your phone number, the address of the store, your Facebook.
My Facebook, yep, and my email, I think she said too. If somebody had a question, they could always email me.
Yeah, definitely don't be shy. Email Elizabeth. Go to her Facebook and look at her pieces she's working on. Go to the store. And I just can't encourage it more. I'm so happy we did this.
Me too. Woohoo.
So
Fun.
you'll be back, and I want to thank everybody for watching our show today. And Elizabeth, are there any words you want to say to the audience?
Just that I appreciate the business that I've had. My customers have become my friends. I love you all. My family has been tremendously helpful. I couldn't have done this without them. I want to say thank you to my family. And just to remember to shop local this season. You are making a difference. I know we hear that all the time now, but you really do. Now that I'm in these shoes, I can tell you it does make a difference to us as families and people that live around here when you come support our business and tell your friends where you got something. And even if you just come look around and share it on Facebook, social media is huge nowadays. Us little guys can beat out the big box chain stores if we have support. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching the show today, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.